In the heart of the magical forest, where the trees whispered their ancient secrets and the flowers glowed like stars in the velvety night, there lived a sprite named Pip. Pip was known throughout the woods for his cheeky grin and his penchant for pranks. Early one dewy morning, as the sun began to peek over the horizon, Pip fluttered about with a devious plan in his mind. He had decided that today, he would play the biggest prank yet. With his tiny hands, Pip flicked his fingers and cast a mischievous spell. The spell swapped the tails of all the animals in the forest. Benny, the bear, woke up with a long, fluffy tail that once belonged to Fay the fox. His tail dragged awkwardly along the ground, leaving him puzzled and trip-prone as he ambled through the undergrowth. Meanwhile, Fay found herself with a bushy, waggling tail that used to belong to Squeaky the squirrel. She wiggled it experimentally, discovering it was remarkably undignified for hunting. Jerry the giraffe now sported a curly pig's tail. At first, Jerry didn't even notice, but soon the other animals were snickering and pointing. Jerry felt rather embarrassed towering over everyone with his misshapen waggler. Not far away, Lila the lemur was busy trying to get her balance with the elegant, swishy tail. Ross the rabbit was the most bemused of all. Where once he had a fine, cotton puff of a tail, now he had something long and smooth, like a snake, which turned out to be Roxy the raccoon's tail. This change made hopping much harder than expected. Absolute chaos reigned through the forest as the animals stumbled about, trading bemused glances and trying to adjust to their new appendages. Confusion and hilarity rang through the air, and the sound of awkward thuds and giggles echoed between the trees. At first, everyone was rather cross with Pip. Why did he have to go about swapping their tails? But as the day wore on, and the grumbling turned into laughter, they began to see the funny side of things. The sight of Benny gingerly picking his way was amusing. Towards the end of the day, Pip began to realize the consequences of his mischievous magic. Seeing Jerry blushing from the giggles of his friends and hearing Fay's exasperated sighs made Pip ponder. As he sat beneath an ancient oak, he listened intently. Touched by a hint of reflection, Pip approached the gathering animals who were now bonding over their strange experiences. "I think I've learned something today," Pip admitted. "Perhaps my mischief can sometimes go too far. I never intended to cause trouble, only smiles." Nodding in understanding, the animals kindly forgave the sprite, each voicing how they'd learned something new about their friends through the day of confusion. "Now, could you help us get our tails back, Pip?" asked Lila, chuckling. With a sparkling wave of his little hands, Pip reversed the spell, returning each tail to its rightful owner, much to everyone's relief and appreciation. The forest resumed its usual tranquility, with a new story to share, and Pip, having learned his lesson. From that day on, Pip was more thoughtful with his pranks, and in the heart of the magical forest, a little sprite learned the true magic of compassion and understanding.